Marshallburg, previously trespassed female.
Good afternoon, Spokane. Welcome to the Street Report, brought to you by Gates Security. Today is March 20th, 2025, and I am coming to you from the streets of Spokane, Washington. I'm your host, Sergeant Miller, with Gates Security. And currently, we just turned from Maple to 4th Avenue. If you're just joining us for the first time, please like and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications so you know when we got new material coming out. We're going to try something a little different today. We're going to add a piece to what we already do. As I'm driving down 4th Avenue here, I'm surprised actually. I'm not seeing any street activity per se. But we're going to try something different. We're going to start running a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the absolute worst, or 1 being the absolute worst, and 10 being the absolute best we've ever seen. Typically speaking, you know, 5 or 6 is about average. So I would say most days we're floating around a 4. But we'll see what we see today, and we'll go from there. Like I said, this content is brought to you by Gates Security. Gates Security is available for all your security needs, from alarm and camera installations to alarm and camera monitoring 24 hours a day. We also have a highly trained team of patrol officers, armed patrol officers, to respond to your needs. You can find us on the web at gatessecurity.com, or you can send us an email if you'd like more information. That email address is info@gatessecurity.com. So, Thursday afternoon, it's a little later than I normally get out here, but looks like Howard in the alleyway behind Carl's Jr. A couple of transients hanging out in the alleyway there. A little later than I normally try to do these, but it's always good to get a different perspective at different times of day. So it's just about 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday. Traffic is moderate, picking up, probably due to the rush hour. And so far, relatively light on the foot traffic. So we'll see if that picks up as I dive deeper into town here. Currently on 4th Avenue, we're at the Westminster Church at 4th and Washington. It looks like there's somebody's belongings off to my left on the railing. I don't see the person that goes with the belongings though. And other than that, I'm only seeing one other person out here on foot. And this fella exited from the south side of the street, crossed over, walking down the street there. Alright. Anyway, hope you all are having a great day. Getting close to the end of the week. Looking at the forecast, looks like it's gonna turn sour. So, what they call second spring up here in the Northwest. Possibility of some snow over the weekend. Currently, it's partly cloudy and 51 degrees. So we got somebody sitting on the sidewalk on the east side of the Yoga Moor, 3rd Avenue at McClellan. Or 3rd, that would have been, I guess that would have been Howard. Wrong street, my apologies. On 3rd Avenue, heading towards Division, eastbound. Let's see what we can see down here. Busy day today, as far as I can tell. Tally-wise, we're at 3 overdoses for the day so far. And that's just in the downtown area. I was informed earlier there were several over in Idaho, which Idaho reporting is challenging to get an accurate report of what's going on. But from what I understand, they had at least 2 over there, and then we've had 3 here in the downtown Spokane area today. So if you didn't catch the written side of the report yesterday, there was a pretty tragic incident where a young person, a child, was hit with a baseball bat and was clinging to life, and that report was went out right after I ended my recording yesterday. So I added that to the written report, but I don't think it got onto the other. So 2nd in Division, we've got a few people hanging out. We've got a couple guys hanging out in the old Starbucks. Looking over towards State Street, we've got some people hanging out on the doorsteps, on the stoops. Exxon looked pretty clear. 3rd Division, that looked pretty good. I didn't see, but there might have been a couple people there, but they were moving on. They weren't hanging out. Down to Sprague here. Looks like we've got some folks, at least 1, maybe 2, hanging out over on the north side of the Brown Street Viaduct. We'll get a better look here in just a second. But anyway, yeah, yesterday, my heart goes out to that kiddo's family. Hopefully he pulled through. The report that I was hearing was they had CPR in progress and it didn't look good. However, the child did have a pulse when they got him to the hospital. So, coming through the Brown Street Viaduct, looks like we've got some open air drug use. Multiple people underneath, quite a few people actually, underneath the viaduct there. We've got some pedestrian interference here at Pacific. And turning on to Pacific, some folks hanging out inside the House of Charity. State Street has a few people hanging out. We've got some open air meth use right there. Lady on the corner smoking her meth pipe. Lots of garbage and lots of people on the street here outside of Catholic Charities. Quite a few people hanging out in front of the apartments there. Oh wow, we got a little open air drug market going on right here at just across the street, actually on the south side of the street, across from the Catholic Charities office. About a half a dozen people exchanging items. And continuing down Second, in the alleyway north of the Amerimart, there was about 5 or 6 people in the alleyway, sitting in line in the alleyway. As I make my way down here to Washington, in the downtowner, the window. It's interesting to me. So the window on the Big Dipper bar, or what used to be the Big Dipper bar, right here at 2nd and Washington, a few weeks back I reported there was one of the windows was broken but covered, and now the window next to it is broken, and it appears that somebody's crawled through it. That's kind of interesting. That the old broken windows theory has some truth to it. Making our way down 2nd Avenue. Howard Street Viaduct had quite a few people in it as I drive by. So did the Stevens Street Viaduct. Washington Trust Bank. Here at Post and 2nd. Not too bad. And by not too bad, I'm not seeing too many transient folks hanging out, but looks like we've got a panhandler here on Monroe, and across the street it looks like there's a gentleman in crisis or something walking across the street doing his thing. Down the street, there's some folks under the viaduct. And let's see, we're at Madison City Gate. It's got some people hanging out on the east side. Nobody on the west side today, but here's, oh wow, the fella on the north side of the Honda dealership. Looks like he's got some kind of a clothes rack that he's taken apart and thrown all over the street. Cruising down Jefferson here, there's a couple people, looks like they're going to do a little pedestrian interference and walking across. They're starting to walk across on the red light. We're going to buzz down the alleyway. And there's a fella in the wheelchair at the on-ramp to the freeway. There's a bunch of people hanging outside of the Hope House, but it is about that time of the day where they start letting people in, from what I understand. Got a bunch of campers over here. To the left side when I pulled out of the alleyway. looks like for the most part, folks waiting to get into the shelter there. Like I said, it is that time of day where everybody's hoping for a bed. Back to 2nd Avenue. Oh. Wait for some traffic here real quick. And we're going on down the road. On our way down to Sunset Highway. So, reading the news today, I did see that there was a pretty significant fire up in the West Hills area out beyond the airport last night, early this morning. I would be interested to know the circumstances behind that fire. The reporting that I've seen seems to be suspicious, but nobody really knows exactly yet what's going on. So, but it sounds like fire crews were out there. They got it extinguished eventually, but and then I heard something in regards to that regarding dry fire hydrants. So that raises a big red flag for me, especially with fire season right around the corner. I don't think our community can afford to have dry fire hydrants. I believe we saw that occur a little while ago, and we got quite a few people outside the Rosars on the south side. Multiple encampments set up next to the building. But anyway, what I was going to say was, yeah, I believe we saw something similar with the Palisades fire and the Malibu fire down in Los Angeles here just a month or so ago, and the dry fire hydrants. So if I were a fire official, I would have my crews checking fire hydrants to make sure that they not only produce water, but produce adequate pressure to feed the fire trucks that they're designed to feed. A little bit of my background is I did work fire and EMS for many years until retiring and then coming to this side of the fence, private security. But I can tell you, as a firefighter, if I turn on a hydrant and nothing comes out, we've got big problems. Fortunately for us in this area, a lot of our rural fire departments have what they call tenders, or big trucks with that they're designed specifically just to carry water, and that's it, like 5,000 gallons at a time. But when a fire truck is putting out over 1,000 gallons per minute, they'll go through that water pretty quick. So very important, and definitely something that I would look into if I was on the fire department currently. So we're on Government Way, on our way down here to West Riverside. We're going to make the turn onto West Riverside here. Down the hill into Peaceful Valley. So there's three significant news stories for you for today. I don't really want to get into delivering the news. I just want to give you the facts on the ground. But since I wasn't really seeing a whole lot, figured I'd edify you with some information that I was aware of, and maybe you were too, but now we all know. Come around to People's Park. Parking lot's medium full. Not too bad coming up the hill today. Looks like we got some police activity here. Probably at the Broadmoor Apartments. Alright, turning on Maple to make the junction over here. This area has been cleared of campers.
Union, 5 Yep.
And today, what I'm going to do, I'm going
Spokane, sir.
to run down 3rd from the west end to about McClellan before we sign off. I did mention something earlier that we'll start running a rating, and I'd love to see your comments on this too. Your feedback would be fantastic. We're going to run a rating system 1 through 10, with 1 being the absolute worst we've seen it, and 10 being absolutely clean and clear and absolutely wonderful. So when I get done here, we'll I'll tell you what my thoughts are, and then I'd love to hear your thoughts as well in the comments. Looking at Walnut and 3rd, right out front of Starbucks, there's a panhandler. As I'm looking across the street to the First Presbyterian Church, looks like there's a young family going into the church, and they've got panhandling and other transient activities less than a couple 100 feet away, which is just incredible. Just incredible. So far, and I think I said earlier, I normally would rate Spokane about a 4-ish, maybe. That would probably be our baseline in my mind. But looking at it today, so far from what I've seen, except for some very specific areas, like around the Hope House and down off of State Street in front of State and 2nd, the rest of the city looks pretty good. I might have to give it a 5 today, maybe even a 6. Well, looks like we've got some folks here. Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave it today. I think we got some usual folks outside of the Redemption Chapel. Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 5 for today. A little better than our normal baseline, like I said, which I believe is a 4. I think today, I'd rate today as a 5. So, aside from those 2 very specific areas that I pointed out. But that's going to do it for me for today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Again, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and that bell for the notifications to let you know when new material comes flying out. I managed to get a report in every day this week so far. So I do hope you all have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. And if the weather does turn, don't forget your jacket. All right. Well, this is Sergeant Miller with Gate Security. And I hope you all have a nice day. Take care. Signing off.